Um, Mo says, "Let's go February 17th." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then of course we would be remiss we didn't spend a little time talking about the All Star Game starters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't talk about the starters last week, but the reserves and anybody that you feel who may have gotten mistreated throughout this whole process, if you know what I mean, the snub treatment.
Oh
So
yeah.
we'll start with the Western Conference.
Okay.
So, of course, we know the starters. That's Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, SGA, LeBron, and the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
The bench that was released on Thursday, excuse me, Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Carl Anthony Towns. So, two questions. First question: is there anybody that you feel got snubbed? And second question: if you feel they got snubbed, who would you take out to put them in for?
uh, that's one of the toughest questions I've ever asked. Off the rip, I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox. Uh, that brother's nasty. Uh, but if you look at the reserves, I mean, it's going. I really don't have a problem with who they chose. I think he should have been given a little bit more consideration. But I don't. Who? That's a tough one. I don't know who would you take. I don't.
I'll answer that question for you, comment. Paul George. Because if you ask me, and nobody did, of course, but if you ask me, the second best player on the Los Angeles Clippers, I have to fix my mind to say this out of my mouth, is James Harden, not Paul George.
Ooh, ooh. He's playing a little bit like the old. He's in
He
shape.
is.
Well,
He is. I mean, he's balling. I got to give him his props. I ride him like a broke horse when he's doing bad. So I got to give him props when he's doing well. He's playing well.
yes.
So I would make that change
Ooh.
and miss the no show in the playoffs, but sometimes show up in the regular season, score 60 some points, and still his team lose. I'm gonna take him out and I'm gonna put in somebody else from De'Aaron Fox team. Man, last name Sabonis.
Tough. He's tough.
First name Demontis. I
He's
think those
tough.
two guys should be in over Paul George and Carl Anthony Towns.
Can't
I
argue
don't
that.
I don't really have a problem with them making it, but I don't feel that they should make it over those two individuals. Just my thoughts. And there are other guys as well. Can you think of any other snubs besides those two guys? Anybody else you feel like got snubbed?
Not really. Not really. Not really. I mean, no. I think the Alan Fox is the major one to me. But yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough. All right, so on the eastern side, Giannis Antetokounmpo, starter as well as Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum. And then the bench players we have Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle. Anybody on the Eastern Conference side that you feel like got snubbed, and who would you replace them with?
I think, and hey, this is killing me to say this. I might start stuttering. Derek White from the, I can't even say that team's name. Derek White, that guy that plays for that team out here. I think he might have been given some consideration because he's playing very well. The team loves him, he's an offensive weapon. Uh, Very good defensively. I think he could have been given some consideration to take out someone. Paolo's playing very well. Can't take out Jalen Brown. Uh, Brunson, it's tough. I would only say White. Now, if you have who, oh man, I think I'm gonna go back with what they got.
So,
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
so here's the problem. I have one guy, but I can't find anybody to take out for him, right? And that's my guy I talked about last week. Same team, different player. But I can't look at anybody and say I should take them out for him, right? So I'm still gonna stay on the same team. Porzingis has played well. I think he's outplayed Julius Randle.
Ooh, he's playing very well. Yes. And again, well, we 7 foot, whatever he is, and he's hitting that 3-point shot, which brings the defense out, which leaves more opening for the Celtics to penetrate and do their thing. So he's very effective, and he's playing well defensively. He's a rim protector. So yeah, I can't argue. I can't argue with that either. I can't.
It's a hard question, but but I feel like there's always at least one person you could look at and be like,
Right.
they kind of snubbed them. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. Everybody can't make it. There's that fact. That's a true fact too. Everybody can't make it. So I think they did a decent job. I think there's always a couple of people you can argue this person versus that person, but for the most part, I think they did a really good job. The coach is trying to fill out those rosters. Obviously,
Mhm.
there's not enough spots to get everybody. Some people call for more spots. I'm old school in the purest sense of I don't want more spots. Be better. Take somebody's spot. You go out there and be undeniable. You'll take somebody's spot. If you're not, you won't. And right now, cats aren't being undeniable. That's why they're not taking nobody's spot. All right.
True.
So Mo says NBA needs to make up their minds. Are you rewarding winning or putting a shine on numbers? Kings are the 5th seed in the West and they don't have an all-star versus the Dubs. And I love Steph, but they're under 500. My Lakers have 2 guys on the squad and they're 9th in the West. And Jamal Murray should get some love. That's me. I don't have a problem with anything that you said, Mo. That's
Oh,
us. I'm gonna say that's us. Man. I didn't want to bring up my guy, but that's us. I agree. He also says, I think the East got it right. It's pretty decent. Like like I said, I don't think either one was terrible, but inconsistency is always abound when they pick an all stars, right? So Kai, one last thing that we must discuss, sir. And I made sure I left some time so we can dig into this in case you want to. If you don't, we don't have to. So the NBA instituted a rule that to be eligible for individual end of year awards, you have to play at least 65 games of the 82 games. So we already have some gentlemen that are close to not being eligible, and we're not even halfway through the season. And one of them, Mr. All-Star starter first time, Tyrese Halliburton, seems to be making a little noise and a little fuss about it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think, and I'll ask the questions one at a time, do you think that this is a good idea for the NBA to say you have to play at least 65 games to be eligible for season awards or end of season awards?
I think we all know the reason why. Because of load management, game management. I think that's why they incorporated this new rule. And the fact that they wanted to play a minimum of 65 games, and then those games, they have to average 20 minutes per game. So obviously they want the players to play. So in effect, they're trying to do something because, people pay a lot of money to go see these damn games, and these players ain't participating, choosing when and when not to play. The back-to-back games, I think, is tough. I definitely think it's tough. Do I think it's a good rule? I think for the fans it is. So and overall, if you look at it from that point of view, cool, I think that is a good move. As far as Halliburton, like you said, if you got a problem with the All-Star, then take it. If you already knew what the rule was, so you either got to accept it and realize it's unfortunate you got an injury, but those are the rules. What are you going to do?
Yeah. For me, I say very similar. You understood coming into the season. I understand that sometimes you get hurt, but that's the purpose of not taking a whole bunch of games off, right? That's the whole purpose of not just resting to be rested. I understand people get hurt. I don't think you could do any type of waiver or any type of oldest person was hurt for 20 games, so they still get consideration because then you blow the whole rule. So it's got to
Exactly.
apply to everybody. So if you hurt and you miss more than a lot amount of games, man, I'm sorry to say it, but it's got to be deuces, right? Like you're no longer eligible.
Right.
Um, it does suck when it's injury related, but
Mhm.
like I said, if you look back over the beginning of the season, I'm sure if we went back game by game, we could see some games that guys like Halliburton and B could have played in, and they decided not to play.
Right. Hmm.
Right? They decided to take them a day off because they had so many games to do so. Didn't plan for injury, got injured. I hate that it happened to you. I'm not a fan of guys getting injured. I'm not happy when guys get injured. I hate that it happened to you, but you gotta do better.
Facts. Facts.
You save them games so when you do have injuries. And I mean, you can't play 50 games and think you're gonna be in the MVP conversation or the most improved player in there anyway. Let's be real.
Oh.
If you can't play 65 games, you shouldn't be eligible for an award.
And could you know something too? The fact is, I don't think anyone has received any of those individual accolades if they played. I don't know what the exact number is, but you know damn well they must have played a lot more than they missed.
You have to, right? You have to because you can't be valuable if you can't play.
Exactly.
The best ability is availability. So if you're not available for your team, how you gonna be a candidate for MVP?
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
Injuries suck, but hey, it happens. It's gonna happen to somebody at some point during the season.
Right.
Um, so my second question: how do you feel about these guys making a big deal about this because they're losing the opportunity based on how many games they miss? Like Halliburton's come out. We've heard some things from guys like Embiid and other players that have kind of come out and complain about the few amount of games you can skip and still be considered for MVP or whatever other postseason awards or end of season awards, I should say.
You know what it's all about. It's about the bag. When you
Mm-hmm.
get individual accolades, a lot of them have it in their contracts. So hold up, now you're taking money away from me. So of course they're going to be upset, but that's the way it is. Bottom line. But that's the reason why you've seen all the people complain because in their eyes it's hurting their bottom line, and it's all about the bag, and they feel that by doing this, is taking away the opportunity to get another bag or more bag. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is. Toughen up. That's why I said toughen up.
I just don't get like something had to be done. You said it earlier. You got these teams going around. You got people saying, "Oh, I want to see." Like I live in Charlotte. I'm a Nuggets fan, so I want to see Jamal Murray, Jokic, and those guys play. Right. So if they're taking off X amount of games, they may not play when they come. The one chance I get to see them, I don't get to see them because they don't want to play that night.
Bingo.
That's what this is about. This is basically saying, look, when you going out and we got people in these cities wanting to see y'all play, and y'all sitting out, we got to do something about that. So we're gonna hit you in the pocket,
Hmm.
right? So if it's a back to back, and the thing, and what's funny about it is like you got guys complaining about being hurt, right? All you gotta do is play in the game. So say you got some ligament damage, you can't really damage it more, but it's hurt a little bit. All you gotta do is get in the game, play 5 or 10 minutes, then limp off. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, does it hurt your stats? Are you more worried about your stats or your bread?
Right. True that. True that.
I'm trying to get the C notes myself.
Absolutely.
Most says players are complaining now, but they signed off on this. That said, I think the league should add a clause for players that have legit injuries like Embiid and Halliburton. maybe give them a 10 to 15 game grace period that doesn't count against them. Other than that, I'm cool. But like I say, Mo, the problem with that is then you're gonna get everybody trying to, I'm injured, so they can get the extra games.
All they have to do is have the doctor sign off on it, and
You know
that'll
what I'm
happen.
saying? And you make more than a dollar, so you go in there and be like, hey, I throw extra 5 stacks in your pocket. You sign off on this, bro. That's why I think you can't do that.
It's true.
Um, it's no way to do it perfectly. I get that. It's just hard. I think you have to kind of leave it where it's at. You gotta let it lie where it's lying. Right. I think that's where you gotta roll with it. That's how you gotta do it. I know, like I said, it's gonna suck when people actually do get hurt. You're like, man, I wish they do had an opportunity, but it is what it is. It can't be nothing else. So, Khan, we are through what we have designed to talk about for the evening. Anything else that you would like to bring up in regards to the NBA, my good man?
The only thing I bring up now, I want to see what Mo thinks about this. The thing, I applaud the players. We got so many outstanding NBA players, and the fact is, NBA is in good hands for the future. And we got some great, unbelievable talent coming out of college, and I think that's great for the game. My only thing that turns me off is the players constantly complaining. Every damn player, someone's complaining about getting fouled. Touch here. To me, that just takes away from the game. You got people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knocking people out and stood in the game. And the game back again, because I'm old school. I like the way you play. Again, toughen up. I mean, most of the players they play in the hood, they know how it is. And to go and complain because you got a little tap, come on, you got a little bump. That just turns me off. Me being old as dirt, like I said, and a lot of players back then busted their behind, and they played the game again the way it should be played. These guys are cool. These guys are making 35, 40 million a year, and you're complaining because you got tapped. That's my only gripe as far as the NBA is concerned. But again, I love watching the game. I just hate the constant complaining. That's my take.
I can get with you on the complaining, but I tell people all the time they don't like when I say it. But y'all can thank your boy LeBron for this, because he's the one that came out there and
And
started this whole thing.
you're right. You're right. Absolutely. He's one of the major ones.
Mm-hmm.
Little tap tap. And hey, the famous thing is put the hand. What?
And he's not the only one.
No.
Not by far, but he's one of the main ones that a lot of people look up to. And then, he started doing it. They like, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it too.
And another thing, cool. These guys are huge. You got 10 players who are very athletic. They're big. They're strong. There's gonna be contact. There's gonna be contact. Play through it. Play to me being a referee. Play to the whistle. Bottom line. That's how I was brought up. So that's the way I think it should be.
I feel it. All I'm gonna simply add to the conversation today is consistency, right? We talk about players. We want to give players love for what they do. We want to flowers. Everybody's giving everybody flowers now. Give flowers now. Blah blah blah. Make the people earn. Let's stop giving out flowers because somebody have a good game, or good week, or a good month, right? It's great to have individual accolades for points and stuff like that. But what do you do to put your team on the back and help them win? The best thing that any player can do is consistency. You be consistent. You give your 20, 5, and 2, whatever you give. Try to be at or above your average every night for your team. You do that, your team gonna be good. You don't do that, somebody else got to pick up the slack, or you're not gonna be good.
True.
Be consistent, y'all, and take that in life. Podcasting, working out, shoot, drinking, whatever you do. Be consistent. Be consistent. And don't forget, hit this link right there. That's where all my stuff is. I ain't gonna sit here and talk you to death about it. Just go hit that link tree, and it's all there. It's all there. Any last words, comment?
No, I'm good, man. You know I love and enjoy kicking it with you, man. You know how we do the damn thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, good people, make sure you tell 2 of your friends and 4 of your enemies. Come check us out. Just because they don't like you doesn't mean they won't like us.
Exactly.
And with that being said, we out for the week. We'll catch you back next week. Make sure you ride the wave. Got a little special something for you to see tonight.